Hey, what's cracking? Today's video is an introduction to a very special, beautiful piece of gear that I've just obtained for my little home studio here. This is the Fluid Axis condenser microphone, one of its kind actually. I think this is the first condenser microphone by the brand Fluid, and this thing is actually incredible. Let me just show you how this thing looks as a B-roll piece. So why am I enjoying this microphone so much? Let me just go back in time a little bit. My first home studio microphone was the Rode NT1A, a microphone everybody lauded, a microphone everyone suggested, everyone recommended, and with just cause. I mean, it was a tremendous microphone, it sounded great, and it was the bar that I set for every other microphone I ever used. I was like, does it sound as good as the Rode? Does it sound as good as the Rode? Eventually, I found another microphone through SE, another company, also an Australian company, and they're doing something quite special out there. And yeah, those microphones then took over my kind of preference of sound. But obviously the price went up as well. So this microphone reminds me once again of the Rode NT1, but I'm gonna say it, hands up, I'm gonna say it, this sounds better. It sounds so, I can say so much better, but it sounds better than the Rode NT1. Where am I coming off with that? I think it's got a nicer, smoother mid-range. The low end is really, it gets the texture of my voice so nicely. And then the top end is sizzly, but not overly sibilant. And that was the problem with my particular voice. I felt the bass tones in the Rode NT1 weren't really holding it exactly what I wanted. And the top end was just a little bit too sizzly. That was a Rode NT1A, to clarify. I keep saying the Rode NT1, just too many letters. You know what I mean? But this one, I feel like it has all those characteristics, but with a bit more body to it, a smoother mid-range, and that high end is there, but it tails off at the right point. That's why I think this microphone's amazing. Not to mention, it falls in under 200 pounds, and you get a shed load of stuff with this thing. Let me show you. So you get this flight case. Large flight case. Inside the flight case, when it opens up, oh, empty slots. Inside this slot, you get this cradle here. This cradle is actually fantastic. It's such a nice design to it. You also obviously get the microphone itself, and you get a little, sorry, that's a lot of noise, isn't it? You get a little windshield. Now this thing is actually amazing. Like, you've probably seen these before. Like, I think they've, Amazon has stole this particular design, but you can pop this over the mic. I'm sorry for the sound you're about to hear. So this pops over the microphone here, and now this is going to take away all those plosive, big, heavy breaths that I do with my voice. So pop, 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 pop. And it does a really good job. It's an amazing job this thing does. So you get that in the box, you get the microphone, you get the cradle, and then you get this extremely long XLR cable, and it's a solid, like, so it's such a nice quality one. It's a braided XLR cable. Let me just show you. This thing just, it goes on forever. I don't know, I think it's like a 5 to 10 meter or something like that. It's around that mark. But think about this, right? You're getting a case for your microphone. You get a microphone that sounds like, I'm telling you now, this microphone sounds like easily a 500 to 700 pound microphone. The sound of it is so nice. You're getting a flight case, you're getting a microphone, you're getting a cradle, you're getting a high-end XLR cable. You're even getting keys to lock up all that stuff as well, which is, it's crazy. I don't understand how they've managed to do that at this price point, because the build of this thing also feels like you could literally smash it to bits and it'll still keep going. It's solid built. It's solid built. There's nothing weird about it. As I tap the microphone, I don't know who does that, but it feels solid. I don't know how that sounded for you guys, but it's not a hollow sounding microphone. It's got like a nice durability sound to it. Right, so how does this microphone sound in the scenarios that I need it to sound good in, right? Because there's a certain checklist that I need in order for a microphone to become my workhorse microphone. First of all, situations like this. spoken word to the camera. Now this is a cardioid microphone, so it's not picking too much from behind, which is good because I live literally on a high street and there's so much cars constantly. There's always cars, traffic jams, ambulances, police cars. They're all going wild down the street. So to be able to have that rejection is a must. And if you're in a home studio, maybe think about getting a cardioid mic or a microphone that has a polar pickup pattern so you can change those particular patterns. Now I'm just going to show you what the isolation sounds like as I move around. So this is me at the front of the microphone. I'm going to move around to the side of the microphone here, and then finally to the back of the microphone. You shouldn't hear me so much now. Back to the side, and then I go back to the front, where you can back to front. Yeah, so you can hear my voice a little bit more clearer now. Right, I did a few other tests as well, and I think these tests kind of guide us and tell us who this microphone is made for. So my first test was on my nice little new instrument. I forgot what the name of the damn thing is. But anyway, it's kind of like a really quiet sounding instrument. You can't really play this thing super loud. I'm still trying to learn how to play it, and it seems that you have to play it quite gently, which means you have to bring the microphone levels up, which of course introduces noise from the microphone. So take a listen to this piece of instrumentation recording right now. Now, I don't know about you, but I felt like it picked up so much of all the frequencies. I didn't hear so much noise. I hope you turned that up loud in your headphones, but there was a minimal amount of noise. The self noise in this microphone is pretty low. I'm not sure exactly what that number is, but if I can find it, I'll put it on the screen somewhere right now. And then from that, I needed to test how it would sound with louder instruments, because I'm starting to get louder instruments inside the home studio right now. So I decided to test this on my little stool drum. Now at the front of the drum, this microphone sounded absolutely fine, but when you got round to the back where it had to capture a higher velocity of air going through, it didn't do so well. So I think I kind of found the limitation to this microphone, because there's no such thing as a perfect microphone. This mic sounds very nice, sounds very sweet, but it doesn't really handle high SPL instruments as well as other microphones will. I think there's obviously going to be some stats to that. I'll leave all the stats on the screen, but yeah, it kind of like fell apart with extremely loud sounds for me. So I think this microphone is focused towards vocalists mainly, and instruments such as violins, cellos, smaller instruments like what I had, shakers, things like that, things that aren't moving a mass amount of air, which is going to cause issues to the capsule here. And my final test that I did was a little bit of singing over the microphone while playing some instrumentation. So I just wanted to show you how the vocals sit in the mix directly from the microphone, so how the microphone's set up, how it's EQ'd from the factory. And then I just wanted to do a quick test. I like to do these quick tests at the moment. I've got a new little device that I use to EQ on the outside, right? Hardware, software. I would have made a video. It's a PEQ 3000, right? I will make a video about it soon if I haven't already. But I do these quick fire tests with microphones just to see which microphone performs quickest, as in like to EQ it into a song and make it sit in the mix correctly, because I feel like the quicker a microphone can sit in the mix, the more you're going to use that microphone, because it's just easy to do so. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you don't want to keep fighting the frequency of a microphone. Anyway, listen to this mix with the microphone dry and then the microphone with some EQ to it. I grew up in the world where the world didn't want you to be anybody. I grew up in the world where the world didn't want you to be anybody. Now, better get a trade and do your job. They're the old ways, and still the old boys give you praise. My boy ain't gonna be no slave. Seize the day, my young blood. Ooh, feels like something big on the horizon, like a new life is arising, and I'm gonna live mine. Feels like something big on the horizon, like a new life is arising, and I'm gonna live mine. It's a pot full of gold, and it's waiting, and it's waiting, and it's waiting for you. So I've had some fun with this microphone this week. I'm on a little bit of a journey at the moment. I'm in the process of trying to work on an EP, and I'm selecting microphones that work well with my voice. And if it does work well with my voice, then I'll proceed to record a whole song using that microphone as kind of a demonstration of what the microphone can do. And this microphone has officially hit the list. So I'm going to record a song using this microphone very soon. When I've finished it, I'll post it onto YouTube and stuff like that, and do a whole behind the scenes and everything like that. So if you're interested in that, make sure you stick around. So that's my kind of quick overview / review of this particular microphone. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to do some comparisons with some other microphones of the same price bracket in a future video. But for today, it's kind of an introduction to the Fluid Axis condenser microphone, and oh my goodness, this is possibly the best microphone, condenser microphone under 200 pounds. I'm racking my brain to think of any other microphones that I've tested, a condenser microphone under 200 pounds that's at the same audio level of this. So basically, this is a microphone punching way above its weight. Check it out. It's pretty dope, and I'll catch you in the next one. I've been in this, what is this thing now? Knocking it out the park. God, I'm such a dad. Anyway, catch you in the next one. Peace.